I'm gonna be building a huge project in the end. The stronghold is absolutely disgusting. I'm gonna give it a little makeover. First off, the plan. I'm gonna create a massive crater around the end portal. After that, I'm gonna build 16 custom biomes surrounding it. And on top of all of it, there will be a main feature of the entire build. But I'm gonna leave that part a surprise for now. To start things off, I'm at the stronghold I'd like to transform. At one point, I wanted to turn this into a massive map room, but that's way too laggy. So first of all of these maps gotta go. I could just break these by hand, but I think I have a better idea. This is gonna include some TNT, and let's just light this up. That's quite satisfying. Now that the maps are gone, we should go up here and begin with the outline of the crater. That's the center point, so I'm gonna count out 34 blocks on every single side. I can now connect all of these sides, making a circle. Now it's correct and we got the first circle. So next up, this water here, it's gotta go. I think the best way to do this is gonna be sponges. Rather than just spamming them everywhere, we should create rows of sand to stay more organized. And then if I just go here, place sponges on the walls, that's our first row fully drained. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of them. I just ran out of sponges. But I think if I go to the nether and place them, nice, they actually get dried, so... Okay then, so all of the water is gone. It's time to clear all the blocks around the portal. I want to clear about 64 blocks below the portal and 34 around. The math for that adds up to about 350,000 blocks that have to go. I think instead of mining the blocks, I should use TNT. Let's check the raid farm to see if there's any gunpowder. There's definitely enough gunpowder here. Now what about the sand? I don't know if this is going to be enough sand, but how about we just craft it up anyways? I now have over 4,000 pieces of TNT, but before we explode it, I gotta mine this stone down to make room for all of it. Just before we place the TNT, I want to cover the portal in obsidian. I'm worried that when the TNT explodes, some of it will go to the end, and if I were to ever enter, then there would be immediate death. So... Great, I think I'm ready to start placing the TNT. Well then, I suppose I just need to light a single piece, and... Wow, this hole is pretty massive. However, there are still some parts sticking out, so let me just mine these away and then we'll be all good. Now that the lower part is mostly cleared, I want to start mining this mountain down. Let me just grab a beacon. Oh, this is gonna take a while. I got it to this first checkpoint. I think from here it would be cool if we moved the hole in 5 blocks all around. I've gone through like 15 pickaxes now, but this should be it for the second section. This was what the hole looked like before, and this is it now. The crazy thing is we're just getting started. I have so much more planned, and it all begins with the glowing magma at the bottom. To make this magma, we first need to turn this hole into a bowl. This is 8 blocks deep, hopefully that's enough. The lowest layer needs to be completely full with lava. That's about half. And done. That looks cool by itself, but now I want to get the glass in. Do I have any stored already? No. Then I guess we're gonna go to my villager trading hall. I'll use these emeralds here to buy a bunch of glass from all of these villagers. This should be enough. Now we're gonna need to get a bunch of purple and magenta dye, lapis, poppies, blue dye, red dye, purple dye, bones, bone meal, white dye, and magenta dye. Now I can go ahead and craft a bunch of this glass. Then it's just gotta be placed. By placing the glass in layers, we're starting to get this really cool glowing effect. But I gotta give credit where it's due, so thanks to Sandiction for this idea. Holy moly, that looks sick. Next up, I'd like to divide this pit into 16 sections. We can go ahead and use this black concrete to create 8 dividers. Now that those are in, we should go ahead and do the middle sections. And for this, they won't just be by layers, but instead we're going to create larger and smaller areas like this. The plan will be to put a custom biome into each of these areas. I guess it's time to start. I think the first biome is going to be a jungle. We need to first get some jungle saplings. It appears that I only have 2. Okay then, let's get some bone meal and try to multiply these. I'll chop the wood and hope to get extra saplings. To begin building the biome, I'd like to first get grass down here. Now I would like to build a custom jungle temple. I'm gonna need some cobblestone, vines, and then mossy cobblestone. Finally, I'm gonna just follow a picture of what the jungle temple looks like. There we go, that looks pretty cool. Next, the trees gotta go in. Why won't this one grow? Oh, I gotta break the blocks around it first. Perfect. Okay, now how about some leaves? Maybe a waterfall? That back looks pretty flat. Let's get some dirt in, stone, cobblestone. Yeah, that looks good. Next, some vines and lanterns. Maybe moss? Honestly, this biome looks pretty cool. I think we can move on to the next. The next biome is going to be ice spikes. I'm gonna need to first get some ice, some snow, and dripstone spikes. First of all, let's cover the ground in snow layers. Now it's time to create the first ice spike. They seem to be like a plus shape. Now we have this pointy shape at the top. Finally, I can fly with the elytra while placing the ice to get these gaps. And that looks pretty cool. I suppose we gotta get a few more now. Now that the ice spikes are done, I kinda wanna come in here and get some extra snow to touch up the area. Finally, I think we should use some dripstone spikes around here. Cool then, that's 2 biomes finished, and now we can move on to the Mega Taiga biome. For this one, I will need podzol and spruce saplings. Replace the floor, saplings. If you've ever seen one of these biomes, they usually have some mossy cobble on the ground, as well as this background is kind of gross. That corner feels kind of bland. Maybe we should add some sort of floating house thingy. I'm gonna need a lot of different spruce wood types. Okay then, how about we start making the house? I think we'll bring some pillars here, then a roof, finally a floor and a door. You ready for more? This one's gonna be a mini end city. We're gonna need a lot of materials for this. Well, that's convenient. I can just use the portal here to get into the end. I'm gonna need a lot of this end stone, so that should be enough. Now I want to go through one of these portals here and try to find an end city. Okay, that was pretty fast. If I land here, then I can just mine this. Wait, I forgot a beacon. Okay, now I'm gonna mine this entire city down. Definitely didn't need to mine the entire thing, but it looked so much cooler. Anyways, now we can get building. First off, I want to replace the entire background with endstone. Now that this is done, I'm going to once again look at another photo of an end city. Wait, that's not right. There we go. And the city is done. Now I want to go in and place some of these chorus flowers. And now that our 4 biggest biomes are done, let's actually move on to some of the smaller ones. First up, we have the mushroom biome. This is going to require some mycelium, mushrooms, and bone meal. Let's place some mushrooms down. Yeah, I like those. Then we just need to change the walls. Finally, it would be cool to add some wall mushrooms. This one is gonna be a nether fortress biome. Wait, does that count as a biome? I'm gonna need a lot of nether bricks to make this one. Go away, wither skeleton. Oh, he dropped a skull. Now we gotta look at how a fortress looks. I think if I place some blocks here, yeah, that looks good. How about adding a back room? That's pretty good. And because this is a soul sand valley as well, let's add some skeletons in here. Okay, that's pretty cool. Last, I want to light up this netherrack on fire and make it look nethery. Before we leave the nether, let's do the warped forest. For this one, I'll need some warped mushrooms. And this warped block here, I think if I used bone meal, this should spread, right? Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet. Now I want to grow some of these mushrooms to make trees here. I'm going to mine a tunnel here to make something really cool. All of this stone needs to become netherrack. Now there's a secret pathway to the top. Wait, what about adding ores? What is that? I think this is from a really long time ago, but hey, it works. All right, this should be enough. I'll place these on the other nether biome as well. That looks so much better. I was not really sure if these biomes would look cool, but they definitely do. For the next biome, I want to try to remake a desert. I think it'd be really cool to make a desert temple inside of it. Let's start with some sand. Then how does this front side go? That looks really cool. Now I'm gonna place some dead bushes and cacti in front. How about a waterfall as well? If this is the 8th biome finished, then we're halfway done. Oh man, I cannot wait for the top part. That will be so epic. This one is going to be a snowy forest. I think it needs a ledge here. Now some trees and snow. Maybe some coal in the wall to make it look like a mountain. The next one is gonna be a mesa, and I'm gonna need to get some terracotta. Okay, and through this portal, there should be a mesa. So then let's use this beacon to mine a ton of different terracotta colors. Oh, what if I made a mine shaft in the mesa? That would actually be really cool. Let's begin with some basic layers. Now, if I mine into the mountain, we can actually place some wood to make a mine shaft. Every mine shaft has a chest, and inside of the chest, I'm gonna put something really cursed. Let me know in the comments if you know how to get this double book, because it's not supposed to be possible. Moving into the next biome, we're gonna build a basalt deltas. That means I'm gonna need some basalt. So these biomes are usually kind of pointy, and they have lots of magma and lava. Yeah. That looks pretty cool. Over here, I want to make a plains biome, but I'm actually going to try to put a pillager outpost inside of it. I think that looks pretty good for the background. Now I want to get the blocks for the outpost. These structures are kind of complicated, so I'm gonna have to be careful to not mess anything up. Okay, that looks pretty good. Wait, something's not right. Perfect. Now I want to add some trees and grass on top. What if I add some logs in this mountain? Thought it would be pretty cool to have a moving minecart forever here. Honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with what we got. This biome is going to be a red nether biome. It's exactly like the blue one, but red. So here's some of the trees. Let's bone meal this whole area, add some ores. How about a lava waterfall? Wait, I just realized that doesn't make any sense. These are beginning to look really good. Over here, I want to do something unique. I was thinking an ocean monument, except it's going to be mini. We're going to need a lot of prismarine. Now, this wall needs to be pushed back. And then I'm going to follow this image I found for a mini ocean monument. I wasn't actually gonna make this underwater, so I can't do the typical seagrass and coral. Unless, what if I place water here in waterlogged? Will this coral dry out? I think we're good. Now, I wanna place some really tall sugarcane to make it look like it's seagrass. Finally, adding some pickles should finish the biome. This one over here is gonna be a massive geode, so I'll collect all the items for it. I'm pretty sure the easiest way to find a geode is to go over the ocean and look for them. That was like 3 minutes. Okay, now let's place some of the smooth basalt around the edges of this block. Geodes usually have calcite next. Oh wait, this needs to go. And then let me just fill in all of this with amethyst. Finally, there's only one more biome, and I wanted to save this one for last because it's gonna be the best biome, the pizza biome. I'm not even kidding. So for the crust of this biome, let's get some brown mushroom blocks, then yellow wool, honey, yellow glazed terracotta, and red glazed terracotta. Now it's time to get building. Time for the pepperonis. Oh yes, we need some of this yellow gooey stuff. Finally, pineapple. Yes, it does belong on pizza. If you remember before the biomes, we had this, but now all 16 biomes are finished. However, I'm only done with part 1 of the build. Now it's time to transform the actual end portal. To start things off, I want to place blocks around the portal itself to make it look a bit cooler. Okay, this looks cool. Now I want to make a drop platform above so you fall into the portal. Yeah, this should work. For this next part, I want to create a double spiral. So first we are gonna need a lot more sea lanterns. Yeah, that might be enough. At this point, I've learned to stop saying I'll have enough because I never do. Now I can follow this pattern all the way up to our nether portals. Okay, now if we go back to using the purple and magenta glass, we can cover these spirals and make them look a lot cooler. Wow, I'm really starting to like the vibe from this. However, what I'm about to do is either gonna look really cool or terrible. First of all, let's see how much obsidian I have. This might actually be enough. Okay, then I wanna start by creating an obsidian line. And now let's fill in these sides to make a spike pointing into the nether portals. I can't tell if this is gonna look good. The problem is that if these don't work, then removing them will be horrible. I spent about 2 hours placing several of these spikes until I felt I was happy. These spikes are still looking kind of weird, but how about we get the top part of this done? I'm gonna go ahead and count out some glass. Now that this is in, I want to expand this out with concrete. What about an extra ring of sea lanterns? Now I would like to bring these walls up to make this platform look like a massive donut. That doesn't look perfect, but I'm gonna move on for now. The idea is that these are lightning bolts and that the lightning will be coming from a Tesla coil. And that's what's keeping all these obsidian spikes floating. So then this lightning needs to connect up. I think that's a good rough design for the lightning, but now I gotta go ahead and cover it in glass. There we go, this build is nearly done. I was thinking that I wanna add some concrete rings around the donut to make it look a little cooler. Yep, that looks pretty good. Well then, there's only one more thing to do. I wanna add one final massive floating ring around this base. While I build this, would you be able to take the quick second to go down and subscribe? It would mean so much to me, as that we're getting really close to 200,000 subscribers. Now I would like to break this and replace it with obsidian. Okay then, for the spikes of this ring, I'm gonna need more obsidian. I guess we'll just create an outline. And then gotta fill this all in. There is one spike finished, 3 to go, 2 to go, 1 more, done with the top part, and now the bottom spikes. Oh man, these are kind of tricky to place. This water and dirt is really helping. I know I said we were done, but I quickly want to get some beacons around this entire build. This is the final block. I am done with the entire end portal transformation. We've all 16 biomes below, and then the spikes. Lightning and rings. And then if we go into the end, all we have to do is drop through here and... No,